Well, John, what's this period look like for the players?
Bit of rest at the start of the international break off the back of the Oxford game. We were back in towards the back end of last week for 3 days, and then back in as a usual week this week, so just back to normal and building up to the QPR game.
What have you been able to get into the players during the hours you've had on the training pitch?
I think the first week was much more about just rest and recuperation. We had a lot of players that had played a lot of minutes over the week, and a few that had taken a few knocks, so took a few off their feet. Obviously with the lads that we've lost to the internationals as well, we didn't have a huge amount of numbers, so we still managed to get a couple of good training sessions in, and then this week's been much more just like a normal match prep, to be honest.
Could you say it's been a period for the players to be able to reset perhaps ahead of this next block of fixtures, both physically and mentally as well?
Yeah, I think so, and the international breaks usually offer you that chance to have 2 weeks without any football is really unusual, and just it doesn't feel it doesn't feel particularly natural. So I think the psychological reset is certainly something we can look to do and look to press the button on, particularly without a win so far. So I think going into the QPR game we can have a lot of positivity with that, and like you say, the physical side of it with the squad that we've had with some of the injuries and some of the players that we've had missing. I think it's been a good period to get a few back.
What's the squad looking like now in terms of those injuries and players who are returning?
We need to first of all take a look at the lads that are coming back from international duty, but so far Sammy hasn't played for Australia, and then Mark and Terry have been coming off the bench for their respective national sides, so we're hopeful that they'll get back with a clean bill of health, and then I think beyond that we won't have anybody that was unavailable prior to the international break ready to return, and I think vice versa the exact same as well, so there aren't any new injuries that we picked up either.
What can you expect from QPR at the weekend?
It's going to be a really interesting game, second versus third bottom. I don't think QPR are expected to be down there at this stage of the season, so particularly after the success that they had last season with Fuentes coming in and doing such a good job off the back of a really difficult start. So QPR I think have got a very, very good squad, some really good attacking players going forward, and ones that can hurt you, and going to Loftus Road is always a real challenge, and I think it's a game that hopefully will suit us. We'll be able to really go after QPR, and I'm sure they're looking to do the same to us, so I think it'll be a good game of football.
How big of an opportunity is this next week with 3 games?
I think every time you have 3 games in a week, it's a massive opportunity. We had that going into the international break with the 3 games, and for 66% of that we were really good and didn't quite get the rewards, I don't think, and for the other 33% we were a long way off the standard that we need to set. So I think that's the most important message, is that if you drop off at any point you're going to get punished at this level, and we've learned that the hard way this year, and we really have to be at it, and we have to make sure that we're fully prepared for these 3 games going into the week, and we've got 1 day less than we would usually have, but I think that offers us a great opportunity to take as many points as we can over 7 days.
I'm sure you'll echo the sentiments from the entire Pompey family in wishing all the best to Pompey legend Alan Knight as well.
Yeah, it was news that hit everybody really hard. Knight's got a really big presence around the place, and even if he hadn't, you would know all about him coming into Portsmouth as a football club, as a football fan. So devastating news I think for everyone. But the most positive thing I think, as everyone would expect, is that Alan's been in and around the training ground, bright and bubbly as always, and I'm putting a smile on everyone's faces, and I know he's going to continue to do that, and I think it's really important that everybody rallies around him at this time, and we're as positive as we can be.
Just finally, talk to us about the running you and the staff are doing throughout October in aid of prostate cancer.
Yeah, it was something we planned on doing anyway, but I think it's become a bit more poignant and certainly more focused internally at the football club with the news that we have with Nicey. So something that we were replicating from what we did last year, trying to raise money for prostate cancer, and it gives us a bit of an extra incentive, I think, to really get through some of the days where probably otherwise we wouldn't want to do those runs. So everybody's getting on with it. It's been good. I think it's been a really positive thing for everyone to be able to do, and if there's any money that we can raise, particularly with the news about Alan, I think it's a really good time for us to be able to do that.